Everyone, have your ticket? Oh, you don't have one? No problem. Hit the subscription button below. Come on in. Hey guys, DFG here, guys. I want to do a quick little video. And this, before you get in your feelings, I got to say this to some of you guys, because the minute I bring up blackface, you know, I can already see your eyes starting to turn, and oh, here he goes. Well, you know, you might want to hear me out before you go through all of your your gyrations, okay? Because I'm not going to waste your time, because I'm not going to waste mine. But what I want to talk about is blackface in the 21st and the 21st century. Now, as we all know, what happened in Virginia a few weeks back, and you've heard some of my videos about that, and you've heard the national outcry against it in many corners of the country. Around the fact that not only did the governor and then the attorney general was found out to be dressing in blackface, you know, in their college yearbooks, but also Marines, you know, soldiers, men who supposedly are patriotic to this country and are protecting the welfare of all Americans, running around in blackface, you know, making all kind of derogatory statements as it relates to people of color, you know. But here's where I'm going with this. I just read, and it's not a new thing, and I'm from New Orleans, so that's why I'm going to go down this road. And I'm from New Orleans, and it is carnival time in New Orleans, which means Mardi Gras parades. Well, there's a particular parade in New Orleans that draws, you know, black people from all over America, probably even from places around the world, called the Zulu Parade. I mean, this is where black people come, and they come dressed up and ready to you know, to show out and let everybody see how prominent they are and how well connected and how affiliated they are. You know, mainly boule, but also some what I would call hanger-ons who want to be associated with the so-called black boule. Well, at the end of their Mardi Gras Zulu balls, they have a parade called the Zulu Parade. And guess what they do in this Zulu parade? Now, this is where it gets very hypocritical. This is where hypocrisy really starts to kick in. Because when you go to this Zulu parade, this parade is about 4.5 miles. This parade goes on early on Mardi Gras Day, which this year is this coming Tuesday, March 5th. And what you're going to see is parade float after parade float, approximately 1,500 people. Most of them dressed in what? Guess what? Black. Well, this is not black. I'm going to give you something that's black. This is what blacks looks like. Blackface. Dumbasses. Because, you know, you hear them saying, well, you know, I'm black and this has nothing to do with bigotry. Well, first of all, if you knew the history of the damn Zulu parade, you would know it does have everything to do with, you know, segregation and Jim Crow laws. The parade in its origin, they want to tell you it starts back in Africa and all that foolishness. You know, you go show me the continent in Africa where they dressed up in black makeup with red lips, walking around with a lard can, a lard, you know, the lard that you cook with, lard, L-A-R-D, can on their damn head with banana peels as a scepter. You show me any African country making a mockery out of themselves that way. This has nothing to do with Africa. This has to do with buffoonery. Back in early New Orleans, you know, blacks were excluded from just about anything that whites were doing. But like typical blacks, you know, if the white guy doing it, you know, we ought to be able to do it too, even if it means to your own detriment. So what did they do? They came up with the Zulu Parade. And it's one thing to say, okay, we're going to have a black parade and we're going to celebrate our heritage, even if you want to associate yourself with Africa. I don't. That's one thing. But to dress up like monkeys and draw skirts and grass skirts, walking around talking about this is a warrior class. What warrior class walks around? You must be talking about the Tarzan movies, right? Because I haven't seen any black warriors in any African country running around with grass skirts on with their face painted black, lips red, you know, with lard cans on their head and banana peels talking about I'm a warrior with spears in their hands. So what is my point? How are you going to be critical of Governor Northrop and the Attorney General and these these white Marines in blackface and all of this other information going on around blackface, and you're going to have a major celebration in New Orleans, and you're going to run around? Oh, and by the way, let me be clear. The 1,500 people who ride in that Zulu parade, guess what, guys? A good percentage of them are white. And guess what? The white guys also, and women, also have on blackface. But see, this doesn't count. You let Jay Banks, one of the congressmen in New Orleans, councilman in New Orleans, oh, that don't count. Oh, so it only counts, so bigotry only counts when you say bigotry counts. So, in other words, if you approve of white people cooning or making mockery out of you, calling you out of names, knowing that the history of blackface has always been something to humiliate, to create a lie, this misconception that black people are a bunch of fried chicken, watermelon eating, cotton patch, chicken stealing niggas. Yes, that's the history of blackface in this country. And why would any person of color, so-called African American, want to participate in something like that with all of this animosity and racism going on right now in this country as it relates to, the criminality of the police in many cases against men and women of color, the infeminization of, men and women of color in this country. And I can go on and on and on. So you can't speak out of both sides of your mouth. So here's what I'm saying. New Orleanians, what kind of example are you guys setting? Where your child can turn on the television and hear you talking about, look at those, using your word, white devils, making mockery. They ain't no good. They ain't nothing but a bunch of racists. But at the same time, this Tuesday morning, you're going to grab those same children and you're going to run your black cooning ass right out there to that parade talking about throw me a coconut. Throw me some beads. Throw me a spear. Oh yeah, they throw little plastic spears. And if you're really the boule, you really the elite blacks, you might be even on one of those floats with the same whites that you accuse of bigotry and racism by dressing in blackface. And their buffoonery. Oh yeah, they're racist. They're bigots. They're, in my mind, they're the scum of the earth. Any white bigot racist. Yeah, I said you're the scum of the earth. You're not worth, the tissue paper you wipe your ass with. But blacks who participate in it, you're the scum of the earth and you double the bullshit that they are. Because you are one side saying, oh, it's wrong, but when it's convenient for you, then it's not wrong. That makes you twice the hypocrite. That makes you twice the traitor. And so all of you blacks who are subscribed to this channel, who are participating in that buffoonery, wake the hell up. Get your act together. There are other ways that you can celebrate your heritage than running behind, a tradition of paganism that promotes everything that you're supposed to be standing against as the Hebrew Israelites. Talking about Yahweh's chosen people. Most of you have no clue about that, I'm sure. You're still running over there on your knees praying to white Jesus, the blonde-haired, blue-eyed one. The one who your slave masters, brought you over to the Americas with, according to your history, not mine. But they did push it on my people. Can't deny that. But you're the worst kind of hypocrite for participating in that. This is the one time you need to pull yourself up by your bootstraps, because in this case, you do have a choice in it. Pull yourself up by your bootstraps and walk away from that foolishness. There shouldn't be one person of color at any Zulu parade this coming Tuesday morning. But I suspect there'll be record crowds. But you're the same one come Wednesday morning who's going to want to get out and call white people bigots who practice wearing blackface. You're a hypocrite. You ought to shut up. Because you make all of us look bad. That's why you ought to shut up. You make all of us look bad. Why? Because you won't take one side or the other. There's a scripture that talks about in the book of Revelations, and it's talking about where they're being told that they're neither hot nor cold, that they're lukewarm. In other words, they won't make a commitment one way or the other. And therefore, because they're lukewarm, that they get spit out of the mouth of the Most High. That's what he says. He said, because you're neither hot nor cold, I spit you out of my mouth. I suspect in this instance, he's talking exactly about you. Zulu organization and all the buffoons. And Jason Banks, congressman. Again, you're the worst of the worst. Oh, and I know why you support it, because you were once the Zulu king. Of course you're going to support it. Sad. Sad. Righteous indignation? Yeah, I got it. Too bad. It's not many of us. Peace. Thank you for listening. Zulu Parade, Blackface, dumb, stupid niggers.